Hi, we're going to do a short Pilates video this morning of just the basics. So we'll get going with just moving your shoulders backwards in circles. Loosening up your shoulders. And then your elbows backwards. To do bigger circles with your shoulders, trying to open up the front of your shoulders here. And then with your back up tall, turn your head around to the left and to the right and left and right. And come back to the middle, lean your head over to the side, to the left and to the right. And then take your chin up to the ceiling with your teeth together. And tuck your chin in and roll your head over the top to stretch the back of your neck. Up to the ceiling. And back down, tucking your chin in, roll your head over the top. Then to loosen up your back, we'll come to hands and knees. And you're going to round your back and stretch up to the sky. And arch your back and lift your head. Round your back, stretching up and arching your back again. This time when you round your back, you can come up onto your fingertips and stretch up like a cat, taking your weight slightly behind you, your hips slightly behind your knees, and come back to an arched back. One more time, up onto your fingertips, stretching up, and come back to a flat back, and here you're going to have your hips slightly behind your knees, your tummy pulled up away from the mat, your back flat, and as you breathe out you're going to lift up your left hand and your right leg and stretch out long, and as you breathe in, come back down, and as you breathe out, lift the opposite arm and leg and breathe in to come back down, keeping your back flat and your tummy pulled up, and trying to have your leg out straight behind you, stretching out, trying to touch the wall in front and the wall behind. Stretch out long. Breathe out to lift up. And in to come down. One more time on each side. Breathe out. And in, and out, and in. And we'll come back to rounding your back, stretching up, and arching your back. Stretching the opposite way. And then with a flat back, just sit back on your heels and have a nice stretch out. Trying to get your arms away from your head. Hands creeping forward, sitting back on your heels. And just relax. And then we're going to come onto lying on your back to begin the abs exercises. So if you have your weights, you can use them. Don't have to use them. But if you want to add a little extra resistance, that's fine. To get into position, tilt your pelvis backwards and roll up as if we're doing a bridge. Roll your back off the floor and then roll back down, putting one vertebra at a time. Pelvis is the last thing to touch the mat. Just do that a couple of times, just to roll back down onto the mat. Keeping your ears away from your shoulders away from your ears. Back's flat. As you breathe out, pull your pelvic floor up, pull your tummy in flat, and lift one leg. Breathe in, do nothing. On your next out breath, you're going to pull your pelvic floor up, make sure your tummy stays flat, make sure your back stays flat on the floor, and lift up your second leg into position. We're going to start with the scissors. So for this movement, you keep your knees bent. And as you breathe out, you lower one foot down towards the floor. And as you breathe in, you lift it back up. And as you breathe out, lower the other foot down to the floor. And breathe in to come back up. Now go slowly because it makes you work harder. As you breathe out, you need to be pulling your tummy in to make sure that stays flat and that back doesn't come off the floor. Keep going with the movement. If you feel that you get to here and already your back starts to come up, your tummy starts to come up, that's fine, just stop there and come back up as you breathe in. Breathe out to lower down and breathe in to come back up. Keep going with this movement, nice and slowly. As you lower down, pull your tummy in, and as you come back up, you breathe in. Just check that your shoulders are still relaxed, your arms are relaxed, you're not gripping onto the mat, your back is staying flat, tummy staying flat. We'll do 2 more times on each leg. Slowly down. If you want to touch the mat a little further away, makes your leg a little heavier. And with the other leg, try and touch a little further away, see if you can. 1 more time on each leg. And the last one. And then we'll come back up to our start position, and we're going to start with a single leg stretch. So if you want to use your weights, now it's time to take them. You're keeping your knees above your hips, you're keeping your knees bent to 90 degrees. You're going to take 2 hands above your left knee. For now, keep your head on the floor. As you breathe out, straighten one leg out, and as you breathe in, bring it back. Every time you breathe out, don't forget, you're pulling your pelvic floor up, you're pulling your tummy in flat. Breathe out and breathe in. Nice slow movements. Slower you go, the harder you work. Every time you straighten your leg, breathe out, pull your tummy in. If you want to change the exercise a little bit, you can do the same exercise with your head lifted up. If you can lift your head up, you always lift up as you breathe out. So before you do the next movement, breathe out, pull your tummy in, lift your head up and your chin and your shoulders up, and then carry on with the same movement. Let's do 2 more on each leg. You can always put me on pause and carry on doing some more. If not, we'll take a little rest. So bring your knees in towards you. Just have a little rest. And then we're going to do the bridge. For the bridge, to know where to put your feet, straighten out your left knee, put your right foot level with your left knee, and then bring your left foot up to match, keeping your knees and your feet hip width apart. As you breathe out, as usual, you pull your pelvic floor up, you pull your tummy in, you tilt your pelvis backwards, and you roll up. As you breathe in, lift your arms up. Not all the way back to the floor, just stop when you're off the floor so that you're still holding the weight of your weights. And as you breathe out, roll back down, putting 1 vertebra at a time on the floor. From the top down to the bottom, don't forget the very bottom of your back before your pelvis touches the mat. Breathe in to bring your arms down. Breathe out to roll back up again. Tilting your pelvis backwards, peeling your back off the mat one at a time. Bring your arms up as you breathe in. Breathe out to roll back down. Breathe in. Bring your arms down. We'll do 3 more times. A nice stretch at the front of your hips. Try and get your hips up high as you can to open up here. Breathe in, arms up. Breathe out, roll down. Breathe in, arms down. Breathe out to roll up. When you roll back down, try and put your pelvis down as far away from your shoulders as you can. And one more time to get you nicely into position. We're ready to start the next exercise. And the next exercise we're going to do is the 100. So get your back nice and flat on the mat. Pelvic floor up, tummy in as you breathe out. Lift one leg. In breath you do nothing. Breathe out. Pelvic floor, abs. Lift your second leg. If you can, you're going to lift your head off the mat, head and shoulders off the mat for this exercise. So as you breathe out, tummy flat, head and shoulders up, arms up off the floor. And we're going to do 5 beats of your arms as you breathe in and 5 as you breathe out. 2. 3. So it's a nice long breath in and a nice long breath out. So you're trying to keep your tummy flat all the time. Trying to keep your legs still. Number 7. Every time you breathe out, you pull your tummy in a little bit more. Let's do 2 more breaths. And then arms down, bring your knees up for a little rest. We're going to come back to the bridge. So put your feet into place as they were before. This time when we do the bridge, we're going to do 1 leg lift. So tilt your pelvis backwards, roll up into a nice bridge, keeping your hips as high as you can. You're going to lift 1 leg, and when you breathe in, you put it back down. You're going to lift your other leg, and when you breathe in, you're going to put it down. If you want to work a little bit harder or make sure that you're not cheating, you can take your arms up above your head and just keep them there. So you breathe out and breathe in and breathe out and breathe in and breathe out and breathe in. And then we're going to roll back down and bring your arms down. We're going to go back up and repeat the same exercise. So breathe out, pelvic floor, abs, roll up. Breathe in, lift your arms up. Breathe out, lift 1 leg. Breathe in to put it down. Breathe out, lift the other leg. Breathe in to put it down. Carry on. One more on each leg. arms down. One more set of this exercise. Roll up, arms up, lift, one more on each leg. And roll back down again. Making sure your back is flat on the floor. We're going to get into position to do the double leg stretch. So as usual, you breathe out, pelvic floor up, tummy in, lift one leg, lift the other leg nice and carefully into position. Double leg stretch starts with the arms. You can either do this whole exercise with your head down, or you can do it with your head up. If you choose to lift your head up, you lift up as you breathe out. You can equally do the whole exercise with your head down. The important thing is that your back stays on the floor and your tummy stays flat. We're going to start just with the arms. So as you breathe out, your arms go over your head. And as you breathe in, you do a little circle to bring them back. Breathe out, arms over your head. Breathe in to come back. Breathe out. Breathe in. We'll do 3 more like that. Nice and slowly. The next part of the exercise we're going to do with the head down. You're going to do 2 arms and 1 leg. Breathe out and breathe in. Breathe out and in. One more on each leg. And then we're going to do 2 legs and 2 arms of the same exercise. If you don't want to do 2 legs, carry on with 1 leg, it's fine. Breathe out and breathe in. Every time you breathe out, you pull your tummy in flat. We're going to do 6 more if you can. Keep it going, breathing out, pulling your tummy in. That's 3. 3 more. Last one. And then we'll have a little rest. Weights down, feet down. Straighten your legs out. Straighten your arms above your head. Stretch out long. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Point your toes, point your fingers. Stretch out long. And then come back to the middle. We're going to do the 1 leg circle. To do this exercise, you're going to keep your left leg down on the floor. You're going to lift your right leg up. you're going to try to straighten your leg. If you can't straighten your leg above your hip, it doesn't matter. You can do it with your knee slightly bent. The important thing is to keep your knee above your hip. And for this exercise, you don't lean on the floor. So if you want to take your arms up in the air so that you can't cheat, or you can just keep your arms relaxed on the floor. Your left heel is pushing into the floor the whole time. Your tummy is pulled in flat the whole time. Your pelvis does not move, and you just do a little circle above your right leg. Nice slow circles, pushing your left heel into the floor. Shoulders relaxed, arms relaxed. Left heel pushing down, circles above your right hip. Nice slow circles. Make sure your tummy's still pulled in, as tight as you can go. And then change direction, keeping those circles nice and slow. And keep breathing. Two more circles. And then we're going to swap sides. So we'll do your other left leg up. Your right leg stays on the floor, heel pushed down, knee above your hip, knee bent or straight. However you prefer to do it. But keeping this tummy active, keeping it pulled in. It's not an easy movement. You can work hard doing this movement. Keep it going. And then change direction. Two more movements. And then you're going to put your left foot on the floor. You're going to put your right ankle on your left knee. Push your right knee away from you to stretch out your right hip, to open up your right hip. And then keeping that knee away from you, bring your left leg up towards you. Get hold of it with your hands to help you give a nice stretch to your right hip. We'll relax into that for a few more seconds. Again, you can keep these stretches going on longer if you want to. Just put me on pause. Put your left ankle on your right knee. Open up your left knee. Bring your right leg up towards you. And relax into the stretch. Should be stretching behind your or around your left hip now. And then we're going to come into plank position. So to be in a good plank position, your hands turned out, your elbows are slightly bent, your tummy pulled up, push your heels backwards, and have a flat back. You can have your hips a bit higher, that's fine, but don't sag down. Keep your back straight or your hips a bit higher. Breathe in when you put your knees down, and you breathe out when you straighten up. Breathe in to put your knees down. Breathe out to straighten up. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. Keeping your elbows slightly bent. Keeping your shoulders lifted up strong, up to the ceiling, not sagging down. Breathe out and breathe in. And one more time, lifting up, and we'll stay there. And then once you're into a nice position, as you breathe out, lift your left leg up behind you and stretch out long. Come back down. Lift your right leg, stretch out long. Come back down. Lift your left leg and your right leg and your left and your right. And then come back down to your hands and knees. And you're going to round your back and arch your back. We can do that 2 more times. And then you're going to sit back on your heels and stretch out long and relaxed.